Yes, we like.
We need to make a make ready.
It's good.
So in the 1860s, most of the work is not printing, it's typesetting or composite work, which is very, very slow. So with composite work, what you're doing is taking a newspaper that's already printed and then setting it up in type. So I have type back over. I'll just give you a sort of small example. So this is what the type looks like. This type is actually quite large. This is the size of type you'd find usually on kind of like a headline or something like that. So this one is like font size 20. And so what you'd be doing is looking at a newspaper from another community. So this one, the headline there says a petition for justice, and you set that in type. It says a petition for justice. You always have to set it upside down or backwards. Usually you're setting it upside down because it's easier to work that way. So as you print, it will always be a mirror image, but basically you go, because upside down you start at the beginning and then work from the beginning to the end, but everything upside down. If you do it backwards, you have to start at the end and then work in reverse, which is tricky. So basically building a newspaper one letter at a time. Slow work. For a newspaper like this, there's about 50 hours of work typesetting.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's very slow.
At the end of which century?
We're talking about the whole village is trying to show the 1860s. And most of the machinery in here is coming from the United States. So everything but this machine at the back here is a paper cutter.
Oh, that's a paper cutter?
Yeah. This one up here, which is just had some kind of calamity, is called the Gordon press. Those are the only two printing presses we have here that are made in Canada. They were both made in the early 1870s by a company called Westman and Baker. The rest of the printing presses are either made in Connecticut or Massachusetts or New York. New York is really the most sort of industrialized place in North America in the 1860s, and so most of the printing machinery is coming out of New York. There's a very large company called the Howe Printing Company. They made that printing press at the back there. They also made almost all of the type that we have. They're making a lot of things. They're very profitable.
So if you had to run off a number of newspapers or say sheets like this, would you run them off that press at the back?
In a small, so in a small town, you're not going to usually find a printing office like this. So we've got this set up in this way to show off the Howe cylinder press, but it's not really representative of a small community. So usually you have in a small town, you have something like a Washington,
Like that.
like a platen style press. Yeah.
And you do one at a time.